Happy Halloween, everyone. Yeah, sorry about that. Had to be done. This character is giving me very, very cheeky, naughty, witchy, absolutely terrible vibes, and I love it. This lipstick is doing wonders. But here I am in my full glory, in my flapper pumpkin vibe with my witches familiars just sitting in my lap. But I do really need to get out of this character because I'm going to come off absolutely mad. But I love it. I absolutely love it. So I really hope you're enjoying this costume that we've got going. So do you want to be a 1920s flapper pumpkin? Stay tuned to how we're going to make this costume be absolutely wicked. So I had always really wanted to make these costumes. I had seen these images for years. Like, I loved them. I was like, wow, these just embody this seductive, fabulous vibe that they were trying to create in the 1920s and 30s. It's all about parties and not being able to drink and just letting loose after World War II. So, World War II, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I mean, please, they're right next to each other, pretty much. How many years do you have in between? Come on. It's still awfully terrible. Either way, so in World War I, it was just a liberation for so many people, and people just caved, changed their looks, different lips, different hair, different dresses, and so much news. And these pictures gave me such incredible vibes, and I saw this one picture here. She was just so cheeky, wasn't she? So fun, especially as she was admiring her jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. So this is actually a very, very simple look to recreate. You need only 2 meters of this orange fabric, but you need about 4 meters of this lovely thing. But it's totally worth it, trust me. And then what I have underneath is some tulle as well to give it the body that we wanted. Now, make sure you get 4 meters of that as well. Now, the most important thing of this whole process is painting this pumpkin. It might take you a while. So I drew a cat that I found online, and I cut it out on a piece of cardboard, and then I started tracing around on the fabric so I could paint the outline. Wait a couple of hours. Paint the inside, and then I made sure I left eyes because I wanted to create this glowing cat in the dark. So I was able to put some beads in the long term. And then if you notice on the picture, actually, it's not bats, they're birds. But you can't really have birds for Halloween, can you? You've got to have bats flying in the night sky, don't you? Yeah, I'm doing this. And then I was able to place them like where I felt like I did one in between the 2 cats, and then I did one either side, like flying on a different angle, so you could really get a different vibe and have a lot of texture, and it's just not just one plain thing. Now, once you've spent an enjoyable time painting all this fabric, you want to attach the tulle to the skirt. So you just fabric, tulle, sew it together. Might do a nice fancy hem like I did here. And then you'll have the desired length that you want. You can, like, I haven't said how much I use my length because I kind of played it by the eye. So what an average fabric is 140 centimeters. I think I used half of it, so it's about 70 meters to a meter wide, because you want it also to be bigger so you can, you know, create that volume, and the more fabric you have in something, the more you can go, pretty much. Now once you've done all that, I found the best way to do this was actually by cartridge plating the whole thing. And I did it all by hand. And I think it's really effective because, one, I really love cartridge plates. No idea why. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So I was really happy with that. But once I finished with that, I realized how bulky it was, and it wasn't going to sit on this fabric very well. So what I did, I diverted from the picture and I created a wee belt that you can see here. Had this great gold buckle, so it's very it's all circular, isn't it? I kind of love it. It works really well. And then I was able to kind of like oh, what's the word? I was able to finish this pumpkin actually just a little bit off for these seam lines, which I'll get to in a second, and then have a bit of extra here. So you really just want it sitting on your hips, so it really makes it goes, you know what I mean? And then I finish off with the little belt, and it's easy just to take on and off. You can use whatever belt you want. It's a very simple thing to do. Now, you want to be able to create this volume, don't you? And yes, you've got these cartridge plates and you get that little oomph, but you kind of also want to shape it, as you know with a pumpkin. As you know with a pumpkin, you want to shape it so it has these indentations, don't you? So what I did is I actually used pieces of string and I attached them to the bottom of the fabric. We'll demonstrate on the pumpkin, shall we? I attached them to the bottom of the fabric and then I attached them to the top, and I did it in between all of the cats. So it kind of had like, you had your little seam here. Mine was bigger. You had your seam here, and then you would have your cats here. So you want it to create it so when it's shaped like that. And I do believe the ribbon that I used was about 35-40 centimeters, and I know that's quite short, but it will really give it the oomph that you want to do. So now it's time to set this aside and create the main dress. Now I used a very vintage, circa 18-year-old me, pattern, and it's still a fantastic basic shape. So you can use any basic dress style that you want, and then you can also have it any length you want on your leg. Just depends how you feel. And I think this is just a really nice basic look, and it gives the illusion of the 1920s. Like if you really want to do 1920s, I would just only do 2, but I wanted to have a bit more shape for me because I like showing off some of my curves. And then I stitch up all those seams. Now for me, I did my zipper on the side because I wanted to hide it at the back, because it's such a beautiful silk fabric that we didn't really want to show any blemishes to it, if you know what I mean. Now, if you see in the picture, it has this ruffle at the end. And we were fabric shopping, like, oh, maybe that will work. Oh, maybe that will work. Oh, maybe that will work. And we went to my favorite little store in Shepherd's Bush Market. You all know the one with all the most amazing trimming. And then we found these little ruffles, and I was like, perfect. It is so perfect. Because it gives you that 1920s flapper illusion, you know, when they're dancing and they're... What was so good about this tassel, it really was going to give the illusion. It was kind of the same sort of style from the design, and it will just give you that fun illusion. And even if you didn't want to wear this pumpkin piece, you can still have this dress as a basic piece, and you can flap along in the clubs with some nice little shoes. And then you stitch that along the hem. Now I found I had enough because my friend is a very, very bad lady because she makes me buy fabric. Yes, darling, you. So I actually did 2 layers of the trimming because then it was a more coverage situation, because you know it's autumn, you've got to stay warm somehow. And that's how simple it is. All you need to do is go to your local pumpkin patch and just blend in and be one of the pumpkins. And of course you always need a very, very fabulous hat to go with it, don't you? I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have the most spectacular, spooky evening. Absolutely love autumn. I am going to sit down and watch Hocus Pocus eating blood and guts, Spagwell clearly. I'm going to then have some margaritas, and I'm going to have pumpkin pie, and then of course gotta have practical magic, because nothing ever beats spending the night with your local witches, listening to Put a Lime in the Coconut. Harry Nilsson, take it out to the credits.
Bought a